What is up, boys? We are back. We missed last week, but have no fear. We have returned from the Montana trip, and we are back live. Duct Tape Dynasty Championship Week Results Show. So thanks for joining in. I am your host that doesn't have a name, but nonetheless, here I am, right? So, hey, boys, how are we? How we all doing? I hope everybody's doing good. It's good to see. I see we got Dave and Wally out there. Walbert, thanks again to you and Grammy for all the hospitality. Thanks to my dad and mom out there for the hospitality, and Aaron for the willingness to give hospitality, but unfortunately she was a little sickly, so we couldn't do it. But it all worked out, boys. It all worked out. It was a good weekend. Boy, Landon and I rolled into town just in time to catch, I think, the snowstorm of the winter. It was quite a storm. In fact, I think, let's check this out. I don't know if sound's going to go with this, but check this out. So this was our drive. By the way, okay, so we get to Bozeman. It snows the entire time we're there, which is fantastic, right? Because we've got a ski trip planned to go to Red Lodge after we do our college visit, which was the official reason for why we were coming out there. Anyway, so we got all the snow, got to go skiing and whatnot, but it made for some interesting drives. It's been about 20 years since I've had to drive on roads like that. Fortunately, I was able to keep it on the road. Wasn't always straight, but we kept it on the road. In fact, one time, we were on Bozeman to Billings that trip. So we came into Bozeman Thursday, right? Okay. Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. We had a college visit Friday. Saturday morning, we headed out for Billings. Going to go see some friends. Going to go see, hopefully, Aunt Erin, but she got sick. Anyway, we headed out on the track to hopefully get to Billings in time for lunch. It's a 2-hour drive. I planned like 3.5 hours, and it took 4 hours. Right around Laurel is where I finally, the shoulders kind of started to let go just a little bit, and right up around that time, I think we had Aunt Erin on the phone, and boy, oh boy, if we didn't do one of these things where we're just driving along, life is good, and all of a sudden we just... And we're back. All right. Right back on the road. Saw plenty of trucks go blowing off the side of the road, all that stuff. It was entertaining. We made it to Billings. Then we made it to Red Lodge on another exciting drive. And then we had to make the trek from, let's see, what day was that? Tuesday. So just, a couple days ago? 2 days ago. Tuesday, we made the trek from Red Lodge all the way back into Billings and then up and back to Bozeman, and what a drive that was. In fact, we got to just before the pass in Bozeman. We literally were in Livingston. We just hit Livingston, and check this out. This is the view we had in Livingston. So I don't know if there's sound with that, but I don't think there is. I can't hear any, at least. But yeah, that was our view. So that was our drive more or less the whole way. It was glare ice under there, which you guys know, you live there. It was entertaining, it was exciting, but we made it. We did have one event when we ran into this traffic where I looked up in the rearview mirror and I saw a semi-truck, turquoise semi-truck, Amazon truck. The driver's eyes were each this big, and I could see him looking right at me because he was sliding down the outside lane. Unfortunately, I was able to, the next lane over was free, and somehow, some way, that vehicle got traction, and we slid over as that Amazon truck slid by. 18-wheeler about 45 miles an hour. He slid by. It was pretty sweet. Mary was on the phone for that one, so she caught some choice words from Landon and I. Nonetheless, we are here. We made it, and now we're back to our show. Sorry I wasn't able to do the show the day before we left, but hey, you know what? We got to do it in person, more or less. It was great seeing Andrew and Grammy and Papa, Wally, Shannon. It was awesome. Dave, man, we almost got to see each other, but we just missed it. So a little bummed out about that, but whatever. You know, we'll get back to we'll get back out there. We'll run into each other again sometime. Dave made it out on the train, and it looked like we were going to be able to do a little rendezvous, but then he had to turn around and go back. So anyway, hey, let's get to it, right? All right, so it was championship week. We had, it was pretty entertaining. So we headed up to Red Lodge on Sunday and went skiing, and I really, my family, my dad, my mom, really more or less have lived in California forever. Now they live in Red Lodge. But so they're 49ers fans. So I really wanted to watch that game with them. And oh my Lord, was that horrible. That was what was that? You hate to see that. I mean, I know, okay, yeah, the 49ers got stomped, but that wasn't the story of it. The 49ers against the Philadelphia Eagles. Man, I tell you what, I don't know. That was a game of attrition. I think the 49ers just basically died more than even lost the game or Philly won the game. I mean, it was just a battle of attrition, and the 49ers lost. They were without a quarterback at one point. You know, we got to so we started the season. We had Trey Lance, right? And remember Jimmy G? They were supposed to get rid of him, but they couldn't trade him. Trey Lance goes down. Fortunately, oh my gosh, they couldn't get rid of Jimmy G. Now they got Jimmy G. Jimmy G comes in. He starts doing awesome. He's doing great. Now Jimmy G, the injury-prone queen that he is, he's a good quarterback. Don't get me wrong, but the boy gets injured. He goes down, and Brock Purdy comes in, and the Cinderella story begins, right? Brock Purdy comes in. They go 12-1 with Purdy. I think that's a stat I saw. I didn't think he played that many games. Maybe that was after Trey Lance got hurt. They went 12-1. I don't know. Anyway, Brock Purdy came in there, Mr. Irrelevant, and absolutely put on a show. It was the Cinderella story. It was what I was hoping was going to win the Super Bowl. Second play of the game, Brock Purdy goes down. That sucked. Then I think the next play, Joey Bosa went down. Fortunately, he got to stay in the game. But anyway, this fourth-string quarterback comes in that we've never heard of. And he starts playing, and of course, I mean, he's a fourth-string quarterback. He's not any good, and we're in the championship game to go to the Super Bowl. What do you think's going to happen? He can't do anything. He gets knocked out. The dude gets knocked out. Are you kidding me? So now they lose that. Now they're down to Christian McCaffrey taking direct snaps. I mean, I wonder what's coming, right? I think it's going to be a run. Anyway, it wasn't even a game. It was a bummer. It wasn't fun to watch. It was just a disaster. Now, the second game, the Chiefs and the Bengals, that was at least a game, although the referees really wanted to make sure they got on TV, and boy, did they. There were a lot of flags in that game. And ironically, I saw a thing on TikTok today. I think it's probably fake, but one of the referees from the Kansas City Cincinnati game was quoted as saying, "No, I had no idea that my son made a large wager on the Kansas City-Cincinnati game that Kansas City would win. Oh, gee whiz. Wow, that's odd." Like I said, I don't know if it's true, but whatever. It's something to talk about. We're in that off week. We're in that weird week. I hate the down week, but it is necessary. Get everybody out there for the Super Bowl media week and all that stuff. It was just fun. Anyway, yeah. So I've been black. Let's check our comments here. So we're good on sound. That's good. Purdue just got hurt, and well, that was Purdy. But yeah, Purdy. There's a correction. Yeah, the defense. I mean, my gosh, that game sucked, man. But the Kansas City game was good. Just the referees. I tried to get a picture together to put on here. In fact, I'm going to do this. I'm sorry, boys, but I'm going to do it this way. This is bad. Forgive me. Done. Hit that. Let me go like this. You just got to see this. So we show up in town for the cold snap of the century, right? Okay, well, it's cold snap of the winter. And it is so cold in Red Lodge. When we got up to the mountain at 8:30 on Sunday morning, it was minus 30. It was a little cold. Anyway, it was so stinking cold that my dad's DirecTV dish was frozen. And again, forgive me, boys, I'm going to show it on my phone on the camera. I don't know how it's going to work, but this is the view I had watching the Kansas City game, which was, again, that was actually a good game, but this was my view. So let's see if we can you boys pick that out and see how horrible that is? What if I shut off this light? Let me try this. Forgive me, boys. This is a little ad hoc right now. Yeah, you can't see it for crap. Sorry. Maybe that. Look at that. Is that terrible or what? That's how I watch the game. Look at how bad that picture is. That was the whole game. So really, I listened to the game. Anyway, sorry to do that. Just showing you the phone. That was pretty ghetto. I guess we won't do that again. But nonetheless, that's how we watched the game. It was a little bit frustrating to watch the championship games, but it is what it is. Here we are, and it's going to be Philadelphia against the Kansas City Chiefs. I was actually hoping for a 49ers Cincinnati Super Bowl. I did not pick them, which we'll get to later. We'll get to the picks. We had a little change in the standings, a little exciting. And there's a chance everybody is within a game now. So depending upon how the Super Bowl goes, which we need to talk about on this, we need to figure out some things. We're going to do a little talking here. We're going to do a little talking via the text message machine to discuss, everybody's within one game, so we could make it clean and just do the, hey, okay, here's the Super Bowl, right? And then basically those who are in second place would have to pick the opposite of those who are in first place. Kind of a little foreshadowing to how the results are now. But that's a little boring. So I'm thinking about putting some prop bets out there. And when I say prop bets, I'm thinking things like heads or tails. Maybe we should throw in a few of those, make it like 5-10 different things that we can pick and have that decided, especially since we're down to one game now. Everybody's within a game. Everybody's within reach. It might be fun. We'll see what you guys think about that. Anyway, though, let's move on. I've been blabbing. I'm sorry. Let's get to headlines I care about, right? So, yeah. Some things going on in the NFL, but here's headlines I care about. Let's see what we got on deck today. So, San Francisco 49ers to pick nothing but quarterbacks in the 2023 draft. Well, we talked about that. Guess that figures. Oh, by the way, Tom Brady retired. So, yeah, let's, whatever. Is there anything to talk about? Tom Brady is the greatest football player to ever exist, okay? I'm a Joe Montana guy. I love all the arguments for this player, that player, and we can compare stats and all this to regular season stats, and Tom Brady doesn't have maybe the most impressive stats compared to an Aaron Rodgers or something like that. It doesn't matter, man. The dude has the one stat that nobody will attain, and that is 7 Super Bowls. Tom Brady on his own has more Super Bowls than any franchise in NFL history. Okay? The guy has more Super Bowls than any franchise in history. Tell me that, go ahead and try to make an argument against that. You can't. Tom Brady is the GOAT. All others is the question. Who is number 2? Mount Rushmore, Tom Brady gets his own quarter. He probably gets his own mountain. Okay? Hey, what's up there, Mike Oglesby? Good to see you out there. How about the Texas coach gave a big, to ownership, giving away the first round pick because he knew he was getting fired. Yeah, you know what? There is always entertainment, and that's some of the stuff that we're going to talk about in the offseason. Thanks for commenting, by the way. I appreciate it. Hope you join us. We're going to be here every week, especially during football season. We're about to hit the offseason, so it could get a little interesting. We'll have some weird shows. But nonetheless, we will provide entertainment. So I hope you join us there, Mike. We're looking to get on here every Thursday. Usually the way we do it is right before the Thursday night game. But obviously these last few weeks, no Thursday night games. So we're kind of just playing it by ear. I'm sending out a text message saying, hey, we're going to go live in 30 minutes or whatever. So it's right around, the time about a half hour before the Thursday night game would start. So I hope you keep joining us and spread the love, man. Spread it around. Would love to see you. We're going to get the show's just starting, but we're going to do a whole bunch of cool things. Next season, we've got all sorts of stuff already planned and in the works. It's going to be a much bigger, fancier, and more energetic show next season. This is more or less our trial season, and you know what? I think we're having fun. But Mike, if you join us, we make picks every single week. In fact, let's do that. Let's take a gander at our results of how things worked out. So again, the top line there, our championship round, there's only 2 games to talk about. We talked about it both. Cincy game was okay, but here's what we need to look at. Championship round, Dave goes 2-0. Wally, myself go 1-1, kind of just maintain the standard, and Andrew goes 0-2. So the standings, Andrew and I were tied at first, and now it's myself and Dave in first, with Andrew and Wally tied for second. Again, we're all within 1 game. So, again, Mike, if you keep coming back, man, and I know we're a year away from next season, but heck, man, we'll have you on there. We'll put you up there and see how you do, see if you could beat us. So, anyway, I know we just went past it, but we have the overall results of the 4 of us, and then we've got Dave, Wally, and myself with a few extra picks that we were making. I can't remember when we started, week 5, week 10, I don't know, something like that. 100 games ago is what we did. And let's check those results. So there's the totals we see again with myself, Dave, Andrew, and Walbert. And then the original 3 totals. Andrew wasn't there for the original 3. And Mike, please pass the word as well to anyone and everyone. Hit like, subscribe, all that good stuff. You know, it helps the algorithm. But there you go. Myself at 72 and whatever that says, and Dave and Wally are out of reach. So bottom line is I win, you guys suck. Okay. I love it. So, geez, what else to talk about? I guess we can go to what would be the games of the week. Granted, we don't have games of the week this week. But I'd like to see what you guys think. Okay. This is actually not the easiest to pick. So in the Super Bowl, you know, Kansas City, Philadelphia, who do you pick? I mean, right now, Philly is the Cinderella story. Those boys have been rolling all year. By the way, Mike, I'm up in Oklahoma, and Jalen Hurts is an Oklahoma guy. Now, I'm an OSU, Oklahoma State football fan, so I don't claim OU as a team that I like. However, I don't mind seeing Baker Mayfield, Jalen Hurts, and old Kyler Murray out there doing good things. It's just kind of cool to be able to say, yeah, I watched that guy play. So, anyway, I like seeing Jalen Hurts. Of the 3, I like him the best of the Baker Mayfield and Kyler Murray. Oh, my gosh. Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen's the best. I think he's the most dedicated. I think he's the most selfless of the guys. And, he's got what it takes, man. I tell you what, that team is rolling. Coach Sirianni, as weird as that guy is, and that dude is weird. I'm sorry. From press conference number 1 to whatever, every time that guy talks, there's just something weird about it. But guess what? Doesn't matter because he's doing something right, and that team is bought in. And that Philadelphia. Look, I've said it from the beginning. I'll always say it, and I'm going to say it again right now. I firmly believe that NFL, college, whatever, football in general is far more, and I'm stealing this from Pat McAfee. I wish I could say it was my own, but it's not, is far more about Jimmys and Joes than X's and O's, okay? Yes, Andy Reid on the other side of the ball, speaking of our Super Bowl, he is an X's and O's guy, and I think he is the best at it. You know, there's Bill Belichick, who is a genius when it comes to football preparation. But I think when it comes to X's and O's, there is nobody better than Andy Reid. However, I don't think X's and O's alone will win you a Super Bowl. I think you've got to have that chemistry in the locker room, and I know for a fact the Chiefs have it. I mean, watch Travis Kelce. you got to fight for your right to party, right? I mean, that dude is fired up, and that whole team is behind him. Patrick Mahomes. Look, Dave and I, this preseason, we actually got to go and watch, I think what was the third preseason game of the year for the Chiefs. So we got to see old Patrick and Kelsey and all those guys play a full half of football. Now, granted, they were against the Carson Wentz Commanders. Please, God, let them change that team name. Anyway, that's another subject. That's one, Mike, that's one we'll talk about in the offseason is the Commanders and the joke that franchise is because of Dan Snyder. But anyway, Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce were smooth, brother. I mean, those boys, wow, they were butter. You know, I had the pleasure of watching Wayne Gretzky play hockey in person. And I know hockey versus football, way different, right? But my point is the great one. The great one, to watch him play, he was just different out there on the ice. He was smoother. He was quieter. He was more precise. It was effortless. And that is exactly how Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce made it look. I mean, do we remember that they lost Tyreek Hill at the beginning of the year? Does anybody remember that now? It's like forgotten because they're just as unstoppable. But here's the thing, Patrick Mahomes, that ankle, brother, that ankle is hurting him. And if you recall, that Super Bowl against Tom Brady, the 7th Super Bowl that Tom Brady won, Patrick Mahomes wasn't hurt. Well, I think he kind of was. He had a hurt foot. But his front line was badly damaged. He had some dudes out, right? They had some dudes out, and Patrick Mahomes was running for his life, and that was the difference. When we talk about Tom Brady, the 2 Super Bowls he lost to the Giants, both of those, he was running for his life. That's how the Giants won those Super Bowls. That's how they beat Tom Brady. So now you've got Patrick Mahomes with what I believe is a pretty serious ankle sprain. High ankle sprain, whatever. If I was him, I would be living in a hyperbaric chamber. 100% O2, take me down to pressure. Let's fix this thing. We got 2 weeks, boys. I would be living in that thing. Probably has one at home. The dude makes $500 million. I suppose you could probably afford one of those for $500 million. Anyway, now his front line may not be as banged up as it was before, but is Patrick Mahomes going to be running for his life again? And is that going to be a factor? The fact that he's not as mobile as he usually is. I've got to remember to breathe. I've got so much I want to say. Jeez, I'm about to pass out over here, boys. I hope you're entertained. Are you not entertained? I'm sorry. I just got a lot to say. It's been a while. We missed last week, you know? It's good to see you. It's good to be here. Anyway, so the question is, does the Mahomes injury factor in, and does he end up running for his life and that's it? Or can they protect him enough to where him and Kelsey can do their thing? Again, there's no better X and O guy than Andy Reid, and that team has chemistry as well. So really, they're, in fact, the full package, right? If Patrick Mahomes, excuse me, sorry, I hit the mic. If Patrick Mahomes was healthy, no question, I'm picking the Chiefs. I say that, but then I question myself. So whatever. But I'm saying it. No question, I pick the Chiefs. If Patrick Mahomes is fully healthy. Those boys made it look like glass out there. And that was preseason, baby. They'd had a whole season, 18 weeks of regular season, 17 weeks of actual football. And those boys are rolling. Now, Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia... God, do you hear me breathing? Man, I am fired up today. YOLO. What's up, G-Town 526? Welcome. Love seeing you guys here. Please join us again. Every Thursday we try to go live, especially during football season. And if you join us regularly, we'll add you to the picks. As you can see on the scroll down there, we've got some results of how we've done throughout the season. And, would love to have you guys continue to join us. Anyway, we'll try to provide the best entertainment we can in the off season, and it should be fun. All right, so where are we, boys? So you got that. Now you got the Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia Eagles Cinderella story, right? I mean, you've got This Jalen Hurts, who third round, right? I mean, he's not Brock Purdy. He's not quite the Cinderella story I wanted. But those boys are operating purely off of Jimmy's and Joe's, I believe. Now, Sirianni, I think he's made a case for Coach of the Year. I don't know if they've announced it. I don't remember when they announced it. Whatever. But I think, man, as weird as that dude is, he has done an unbelievable job with that team. And that team is rolling. I kept waiting for them to be pretenders. Remember the Steelers last year or the year before, whatever it was, when they went 11-0, and then they just completely fell apart? I waited for that with the Eagles this year all year long, and it never happened. I think they're real, but I think they're going off of Jimmy's and Joe's. So you got X's and O's on the KC side. You got Jimmy's and Joe's on the Philadelphia side. Man, it's going to be a hard pick. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't think I'm going to commit to one or the other this week, but tune in next week. Most certainly the Super Bowl show, most important show of the year. Would love to have everybody who's on here and more join us for that. So anyway, boys, let's see. Do we have anything else? I don't think we do. Now, one thing let's excuse me. Mike says Chiefs because of experience. And I think you got something there, Mike. There is definitely something to be said about the experience of being there before. Those boys have been there before. John Elway was a classic example. You watch any Super Bowl, especially the first couple that John Elway was in, and his first 1, 2, 3 passes are 10 yards overthrown, at least. Because he just gets so fired up before the game that, I mean, you just launch the first ball. First 2, 3 passes, you just launch them. It was like, oh my God, John Elway, he's done. And then he'd come out and do his John Elway things. Jalen Hurts and that Philadelphia team, those boys haven't been there, okay? Whereas Kansas City definitely has been there, definitely knows the game. They've got a locker room that's full of boys that have been there, done that. You've got a very good point there, Mike, because experience will definitely count. So, Mike, I like your pick. I'm not saying I'm going with the Chiefs, but I like your pick. So, Wally says Eagles, but would rather see the Chiefs win. Now, Wally, I'd like to know why. Why you'd like to see the Chiefs win? I mean, it would be fun to talk about them as a dynasty. Everybody keeps talking about Patrick Mahomes being the next Tom Brady. Stop it. There will never be another Tom Brady. Period. There will be other great quarterbacks, but there will just stop. Anyway, but Mahomes, Joe Burrow, all these boys, yeah, it's exciting stuff, and they do have great futures. They are looking to rock and roll. So, I mean, it would be fun to see the Chiefs win. I love Andy Reid. I love him and his cheeseburgers. As you can tell, I'm kind of a cheeseburger guy. But I don't know, man. There's something to be said about that Jalen Hurts and that Cinderella story. I mean, we do have the Kelsey Bowl going on, so Mom's going to be happy no matter what. Let's see. G-Town. I don't like the Eagles only because they're in the same division as Dallas. Uh-oh. We got a Dallas fan. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a Dallas fan. My headline last week in headlines I care about last week, which we didn't get to go to, but remember, headlines I care about. We didn't get to it last week because I had to get on a plane at like 4:00 in the morning, but it was about Dallas Cowboys. I mean, dude, come on. 2 years ago, 14 seconds left, draw down the middle by Dak. Are you freaking kidding me? Now, I know that wasn't a called play. But, bro, come on. What are we doing? And then how'd this season end? Does Mike McCarthy not understand what a Hail Mary is? The dude's won a Super Bowl. What are we doing? What are the Cowboys doing? And I'm sorry, man. Hey, look, I will say this, G-Town. The NFL is better when the Cowboys are good. I will say that. However, right now, and boy, I could talk about this forever, but Jerry Jones is your problem. And God bless him. But the dude's getting a little bit senile. He's becoming the next Al Davis, if we want to make comparisons, right? Everybody wants to compare Patrick Mahomes to Tom Brady, so why not Al Davis and Jerry Jones? I know, it's way different. But anyway, Al Davis was just bizarre, especially in the end. And Jerry Jones and his decisions are seeming to not, he's just not making the best decisions anymore, man. And I think it's hurting the team. Hopefully he can get, I believe Steven is next in line. Is that right, G-Town? Is Steven next in line to take the helm? I think so. But anyway, I've got some friends that are diehard Dallas fans, and we're on the text message thread, you know. We've got our text group, and it is hilarious these last few seasons to watch him just implode via the Dallas Cowboys, especially the way these last two seasons have ended. I mean, bro, it's rough. It's rough. I feel for you, G-Town, but I'm not a Cowboys fan. I'm a Chargers fan. I'm not wearing the hat because we need a different coach. Brandon Staley is not the answer. Not the answer. He's growing. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. He's getting better, but he is not the answer. Anyway, is there a kicker in the... yeah. So okay, we got the unhail Mary, but we also can't make a kick in Dallas. Look, we had Dan Bailey. They had Dan Bailey, who, as I started the show, I'm an OSU fan, Oklahoma State. Dan Bailey was our kicker. Dude is automatic, most accurate kicker, I believe, in NFL history still. And they got rid of him. Not working out too well now, Jerry. Again, I say his decisions are not the best right now. Not helping his team. Anyway, God bless Dallas. They had a decent year this year, but man, no. Anyway, we'll talk more about them. They right now are on my Mount Rushmore of biggest disappointments. Disappointments, at least playoff wise, and you're well versed in that. So, yeah. Anyway, boys, I've been blabbing quite a while. This is the off week. This is the Pro Bowl week. We don't have a game to talk about, so I'm going to kind of cut it off now. It's been fun. It's been awesome seeing some extra guys on here. I hope you come back. Next week will be quite a bit of fun. Going to try and do something special for the Super Bowl, a few special things and whatnot. We'll see what happens. Please feel free to provide me with any ideas you can come up with. But anyway, at the end of our show, I run credits, you know, because we all got to run credits. Give credits to the dudes who do the music and whatnot, although it's royalty free. But I include in there what I call fun Fuchsia football facts. So be sure to stick around and check those out at the end. Anyway, boys, I think it's been a good show. It's been a good show. It's so exciting seeing new dudes on here. I'm pretty excited about that. Please keep coming back. And if you would do me a favor, boys, hit that like button and hit the subscribe button. Even if you don't ever plan on coming back, it helps the algorithm, all that BS. You know what I mean? Anyway, it helps. Okay, so I would appreciate it. But more importantly, I would appreciate y'all coming back. Would love to have you on and would be more than happy to include as many people as want in the games of the week, the picks. You know, join us. We'll go through them. So next week we will talk Super Bowl. But for now, hey boys, it's been a lot of fun. It was great seeing everybody. Again, it's awesome to be back online. I can't wait for our next show. You guys are the absolute greatest. And I don't know. Jimmy's and Joe's are X's and O's, boys. What's it going to be? Kansas City or the Eagles? Who knows, man? I tell you what. Anyway, boys, it's been fun. You guys are absolutely awesome. I can't wait to see you next week. Be sure to stick around for fun Fuchsia football facts. It's a bunch of knowledge you don't need, but hey, whatever. It's something to read. It's something to think about. Here you go, boys. We'll see you next week.